الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created this entire universe by His own will, by His own command. In creating it, He did not need anyone's help, assistance. He did not need to consult with anyone. He did not need to ask anyone. His power is absolute. And throughout this universe, He has placed many signs that indicate His grandeur, His power, His beauty, His glory. And when a person spends just a little bit of time thinking of those things, they start connecting with Him. أَمَّنْ خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. He asks, who else has created the heavens and the earth? وَأَنزَلَ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مَاءً. And then within this system of the sky and the earth, made arrangements for water to come showering down. It's a whole elaborate system of winds, of molecules, of movements, of condensation, saturation, and then finally rain. And even the way rain comes down, it's done in such a beautiful way by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How He sends these undercurrents to come beneath the clouds and to scatter those massive clouds which contain hundreds of tons of water into small droplets. Otherwise, if the cloud was to send all its water down at once, then it would just destroy everything that it fell on. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes arrangements for it to come down in such a beautiful way. فَأَنْبَتْنَا بِهِ حَدَائِقَ ذَاتَ بَهْجَةٍ. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grows these beautiful gardens. مَا كَانَ لَكُمْ أَن تُنْبِتُوا شَجَرَهَا. It was not in the human being's capacity to grow one tree on their own if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had not created these seeds, and this system locks away all the DNA of that plant and its fruits all in one tiny seed. Allah says it is not in your capacity to grow it, to put it in something like soil and produce something alive, something that gives fruit, something that is beautiful, it grows. أَمَّنْ جَعَلَ الْأَرْضَ قَرَارًا. Human beings understand that the earth is not static, it's moving. It's rotating on its axis. It's revolving in its orbit. It's in movement. They estimate that its revolution, its rotating on its axis is almost 1,000 kilometers per hour. Imagine something revolving at that speed. You have a tire that's turning at maybe 100 kilometers an hour. So what happens if that car is passing through rain? How the droplets go flying. Nothing can sit on that wheel. The movement is so fast. Imagine something as massive as this globe, as this planet. How much speed, how much velocity, how much inertia is going into it. We and everything else on this planet should be sent scattering out into the galaxies. Nothing should be able to stay put on it. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is doing that. Putting opposite forces together and making it run in harmony. He says, أَمَّنْ جَعَلَ الْأَرْضَ قَرَارًا. Who made this earth like that? Even with all this movement, you're at rest. وَجَعَلَ خِلَالَهَا أَنْهَارًا. And then creates rivers and streams within it. وَجَعَلَ لَهَا رَوَاسِي. And plants mountains within it to keep it stable, to keep it from wobbling as it's spinning around. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, is there someone other than me who could have done all of this? أَإِلَهٌ مَعَ اللَّهِ. Is there someone other than Allah? There is no one other than Allah. We say, La ilaha illallah. There is no one worthy of worship but Allah. There is no one worthy of turning to but Allah. Throughout this universe, the signs of Allah are scattered. They're everywhere. In fact, every time you open your eyes, you cannot avoid the signs of Allah. Every time you look in the mirror, there are signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala staring right back at you. وَفِي أَنفُسِكُمْ أَفَلَا تُبْصِرُونَ. Within yourselves are so many signs. Contemplate about this eye, how beautiful, how powerful, how complex Allah has made it. this brain, this heart, this liver, these kidneys, every organ in the human body is speaking of the glory of Allah and the perfection of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's creation. Islam is about connecting with that Creator. It's about familiarizing ourselves, getting to know Him, getting to recognize Him, and developing this bond with Him. This bond, this beautiful, pure, clean bond in which we voluntarily submit to Him. And for the sake of His command, we are willing to sacrifice our own desires. This is where Islam begins. Islam is submission to that Master who put this entire universe here and who put us here in this universe, who created us for His worship. So the most important objective of our lives is to recognize this Creator and to pledge our submission to Him. And from here the journey of Islam begins. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq and understanding. Wa sallallahu wa sallam wa baraka ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in.